Hey, welcome back to the podcast. It's been a while since a new episode went live. In fact, it is July 2023 as I'm recording this, and the last episode went live November 2020. So you may not even remember subscribing to this podcast. Who knows? But I have a lot to update you on. As you can imagine, a lot has changed. If you don't remember who I am and why you subscribe to this podcast, I'll do a quick reminder. And then we'll dig into all the updates and what you can expect from me and this podcast and my business going forward. So when you first subscribed to this podcast, it was probably called The Productive Life with Megan Minns. I am Megan Minns, or at least I used to be. That is my maiden name. And I am actually shifting it and rebranding my business and this podcast. So that'll be definitely something we dig into. So depending on when you're listening to this, it may still be called that as I start to put out new episodes, or we may have gone ahead and rebranded. We'll just see how that timing ends up. But I want to go ahead and catch up because the last episode in November 2020 was a second trimester update. And since then, I have become a mom. I ended up shutting down my group coaching program. I started working for one of my dear friends and prior clients. Ended up working for her full-time for, I think, like a year, and then ended up experiencing 3 more miscarriages. I had 3 before having our daughter and ended up quitting that job because I needed to focus on me and my health. And I ended up basically going on a year-plus sabbatical. Very unplanned, unintentionally, but just made the choice one day to take a break and just kept making that choice every single day for over a year. Over that time, I got pregnant again with a healthy pregnancy and was posting on TikTok about pregnancy and motherhood. I had our second child in January of 2023. And then this past summer, I actually emceed a 3-day in-person conference in Dallas and decided I was ready to come back to business after over 2.5 years, or over 2 years, I should say, of really being on a hiatus in my business. Since deciding to come back to business, I booked out some private coaching and did that by posting just 2 Instagram stories. And that was just so humbling and unexpected and amazing. So I've been working with some private coaching clients the past couple of months, and here I am coming back to business, ready to start doing more public facing besides just supporting my clients, ready to start giving you value, connecting with you, helping you. And yeah, it's been great. I have generated over $45,000 in sales in just the first 2 months of being back, and we're just getting going. So I'm excited to see that number climb, and not from any type of like vanity metric, but I have a very real goal with my business. Now that I am a mom of 2 and I have decided to come back to business and we are paying money for childcare, I am really focused on making sure my business pays for our childcare. And there's a very like strategic process of how much money we need to make to do that. And then of course, money that you want to reinvest in the business and have left over in profit. So maybe we'll have another episode later talking a little bit more about money and how we're even doing the business plan, because it's definitely different this time around. Like I mentioned earlier, I am in the process of rebranding. I'm doing it imperfectly. I'm not really doing the full visual rebrand I would love. I can't wait to work with a designer one day, but we're just not ready. I'm just not ready to commit to a redesigned brand and business yet. I kind of need to like feel out the business a little bit more myself first. I like to have a lot more clarity in where my business is going before I invest in branding with a professional. But from a conceptual standpoint, from a naming standpoint, I am rebranding the business from Megan Minns, which is my maiden name, to Meg King. And I've been married since 2016. So Megan King has been my name since 2016. I've just been going by Megan Minns professionally. And that worked for a while, but especially after taking a 2-year break, I really just felt ready to shift into a new identity, a new name, own my real life name. especially now that I have kids, like this name isn't going anywhere. And so I really felt like it was the right time. So, and all my friends call me Meg. So it's definitely a shift going from Megan to Meg publicly, but it feels good. Feels good to introduce myself as Meg. So going forward, hey, I'm Meg and let's be friends. So that's definitely happening. So I'm doing a little bit of visual rebranding myself, but also just, we're going to wait on that visual brand. Trust me, later this year, we're going to have a really amazing rebrand visually. I'm going to hopefully get new photos done, but I'm all about doing things simply and imperfectly and taking action instead of just being in a holding pattern. So you're going to start to see this Meg King shift. I've already changed my social media handles to Hey Meg King, and I'm in the process of shifting the website and email address and things like that. And I'm also in a very different spot with how I work on this business and how I run this business, because in the past, prior to having children, I ultimately had all of the time in the world to spend on my business. And I never was one who was really working overtime on my business anyways. I really always prioritized having personal time and downtime. But there is definitely a shift from getting to choose that to only having like a set number of hours per week that I can sit at my desk and have reliable work time. Even though we have childcare for both children, right now that's really looking like less than 15 hours per week at an absolute maximum. And that's like if I didn't eat lunch or have personal appointments or a kid didn't get sick. So as you can imagine, 15 hours would be like a good week. And most of the time it's far less, like probably half. So I am really simplifying the business, not only from a software standpoint, but how I choose to do things in my business, how I choose to work with clients, how I choose to do marketing, how I choose to do the back end. I don't have any help right now. I don't have a virtual assistant or anything. So it's all on me. So things have got to be simple and they've got to be hyper focused. So I'm really, really clear on my priorities and where my energy is going. And that's why the past couple of months, I haven't done the podcast because I have been focused on my clients. I've been focused on getting things set up for them, serving them to my fullest capabilities, and now feel like I can transition into doing more marketing again, which I'm really excited about. But it's making me be patient, which is not my strong suit. I love taking fast action when I can. So sometimes having to wait and go slower can feel really frustrating, but we're figuring it out. And as I come back to business, this is a really great opportunity for me to clarify who I want to help and how I want to help them. And it's been an interesting mindset journey coming to this point because I didn't realize how much fear there was for me in niching. I think that sometimes niching isn't necessary. I'm absolutely a personal brand. And so on social media, I'll always talk about all parts of my life. But I do feel like when it comes to marketing and communicating how you help people, the more specific you can be, the easier that is. And I really want things to feel simple and easy and straightforward right now. And especially in the coaching space, sometimes it's hard to nail that down because especially if you're like me and you love personalized, individualized, high level private coaching, you can really take things in a lot of different directions based on the needs of your client and based on your intuition. I love that. But when I'm trying to help more people and have larger, more accessible ways to work with people, you've got to get clear, right? So there's definitely been a lot of mindset stuff for me when it comes to making this choice to niche down. There's still a lot of resistance. I'm doing it through the resistance, but there's absolutely still some resistance with worrying about people's reactions or feeling like, do I know enough to talk about this? Even though I absolutely do. And there's also fear about just like excluding people. And it's really caused me to take a step back and look at the journey of my life, all of my experiences, all of my areas of expertise and interest, and the stories I have, the successes I have. And it's really cool to see how it really does all culminate in the direction of my business from this point forward. But it's interesting how much mindset stuff can come up when it comes to shifting and pivoting your business. So at this point, Meg King is shifting to focusing on moms, soon to be moms, aspiring moms, new moms, experienced and established moms, wherever you fall on that spectrum, I really want to help moms grow an online coaching business. Now, you could technically be not a mom, you could be any kind of service provider, but my area of expertise is absolutely online coaching. I have been coaching online in various capacities and formats basically since I started my business, and I love it. Coaching is my favorite way to work with people. Even when I have tried to do more structured programs like courses or like high ticket group coaching, I've always found that the coaching piece, the live calls piece, the answering your questions piece, the helping you overcome your mindset blocks piece, that's my zone. That's my favorite place to be. And so I'm really excited to be leaning into not only the fact that like I'm a coach and this is a coaching business, but also the fact that I can help other people start and grow their own coaching business as well. And specifically for moms, this is making sure it's profitable. So we're going to be making really smart choices financially and also making sure we're pricing in a healthy way for our business. And also that it's fulfilling, because one of the big reasons I decided to come back to business after being a stay-at-home mom for over a year was to have an individual sense of fulfillment, a personal sense of fulfillment outside of my children and home and mothering. So maybe that sounds like you're looking for another way to get some fulfillment and also fun. Like, I don't see a point in doing this if it's not something you enjoy. That doesn't mean it's not hard or there's not rough moments along the way, but that overall you enjoy it, that you are enjoying working with your clients and growing your business. And through all of this, we have a limited amount of time. If you're a mom, regardless of what stage you're at with that, you know there's a lot of different demands on your time. And so all of this has to happen in less than 15 hours a week, right? None of us have really more time than that unless maybe your kids get older, which is amazing. But I have 2 kids under the age of 3. And even with childcare, there's really very little time to dedicate to my business where I can schedule calls and be on camera and be confident that I can have that focus time. So every choice we make in our business has to align with that. It has to feel good to us. It has to make sense for us to prioritize it. And it has to be simple and fast and efficient and easy. And we can't fall into these patterns of complexity and taking our time trying to make things perfect. So I know that was a wordy way to say it, but basically I love helping moms grow an online coaching business that is profitable, fulfilling, fun, and simple enough that it takes less than 15 hours a week to run. I hope if you're listening to this, that's something you're excited about, that you're excited for this new direction I'm taking things. And I also understand that if that's not you, that's totally okay. And if you know someone you think would like this, I would love for you to share it with them and let them know this is what I'm focused on. But it's okay for you to be here, even if you're not a mom or an online coach. I feel like what we'll be talking about will, of course, be applicable to people who are the exception to this demographic. But if you are a mom growing an online business who doesn't have a lot of time, know this is the place for you. So I'm really excited. Along with this clarified focus in my business, I'm building out my product suite to allow me the chance to support more people. You have not been able to work with me for less than $5,000 in like 5 years, I think. There have been like one-off VIP intensives that were the exception to this. But I really haven't sold anything that had coaching since at least 2019. So maybe more like 4 years. But yeah, it's like a while. So I'm really excited to finally have a way to work with people at a larger scale, at an accessible price point, and still provide like incredible transformation and value and impact. So the product suite I'm working towards, and I may do another episode digging into my decision-making process here, but just so you know what to expect, I am going to have a monthly membership, and this is going to be where you come in and you're getting new trainings from me every single month. You're getting access to mini courses and on-demand trainings. And most importantly, you're getting access to a community as well as access to ask me questions and get answers from me. So I'm really excited for this membership. It'll be launching hopefully in August or September of 2023. So absolutely keep an eye out for that. And if you want to know more, check the description for this, there should be links for you to either join or get on a wait list. In addition to the membership, I'm going to be launching, or I currently am launching, and enrolling into my new mastermind program. This program is all about more established business owners finding a high-level, intimate community, getting more personalized coaching with me. We're on camera. You're getting direct access to me. My eyes are on your business. I'm giving you my feedback. I am helping you grow your business to the next level. And also you're getting that community with other industry leaders. So it's a very, very special space. There are limited spots available. And once those spots are gone, the program will be closed and on a wait list until a spot opens up. In addition, I'm also still doing private coaching, but I like to make sure I don't overextend myself. So I only work with 1 or 2 private coaching clients at a time going forward. One of those spots is already full for the next 6 months. So if you are interested in private coaching, either apply, you can check the link below, or it might be on a wait list and you can join the wait list. So more to come with all of that. And I can't wait to share more of this journey and behind the scenes of this decision-making process and how it goes launching these things and the impact it's having. You'll hear all of it here on the podcast. And the last update is, let's talk about the podcast. So I am relaunching it. Here it is. You're listening to it. It's been relaunched, but I am rebranding it as well, because when it was first created as The Productive Life with Meg and Mins, I was always very clear that it really wasn't all about productivity and that productivity wasn't the metric of success. But I do think I've learned a lot since then, since I used to focus on productivity. I used to call myself a productivity coach, and that's amazing. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I definitely feel like at this point in my life, productivity isn't my focus. I don't spend every minute of the day being productive, and that's okay. I instead try to be focused and I try to be present and intentional. But a lot of the self-imposed pressure I would feel from productivity is just not part of my life anymore. And I think that I wanted to relaunch the podcast as opposed to just starting a new one, because I think a lot of you have been on this journey with me. And I think the past couple of years, there's been a pretty sweeping shift away from productivity being the main thing we're all focused on towards a lot more of a balanced or integrated life where we are focused on what really matters and not holding ourselves to some impossible standard. So it just felt right to revive the podcast and shift the direction. So going forward, this podcast is a real reflection of where I'm at in life, my journey up until this point. And this podcast is going to be where business and motherhood collide, where we're talking about the journey of being a mom, becoming a mom, deciding to grow your family, making those decisions, how to be a present mom, as well as how to grow a really, really successful and fun business at the same time. So this podcast is going to be called Mommy Knows Business. And I'm so excited. It's my first time saying that name out loud. So it feels very new to me still, but I'm really excited to be shifting this to Mommy Knows Business, where business and motherhood collide. And I can't wait to dig more into this area to, of course, talk about business systems and tech and productivity and how I'm setting goals and managing my time. Of course, those are things I'm always interested in, but it's absolutely through a different lens now. It means something different to me now. And I really am excited to have the space to also talk about motherhood, because it has changed me fundamentally for the better, but it's also been a journey. And I have found that the thing I'm the most grateful for is community with other moms, and especially mom entrepreneurs, and getting to talk to someone who gets it is so hard to find still. So I'm really hoping I can be that place for you where it's relatable. We're not doing things perfectly. If you happen to be watching the video of this, which I am hoping to post on YouTube, the room I'm recording this in has a treadmill behind me. It's not decorated. This is not aesthetic. And my life is not very aesthetic right now. It's messy and disorganized, and there's always toys laying around, and there's a lot of things I'd like to get done that I don't always get done, and that's okay. So this is all about the relatable version, not the perfect version. So absolutely no judgment here, and just a place for us to cheer each other on and share what's working and lessons learned and the whole journey. So I am honored to have you here. If you are excited about the direction things are going, would love for you to share this on Instagram or Instagram stories, and you can tag me at Hey Meg King and I can share it. It would also mean a lot if you'd share this with someone that you think would really enjoy the direction this podcast is going. If you would leave it a rating or a review, that would also be huge. And especially as I relaunch the podcast, that would mean so much to me. And I am just honored to have you alongside this journey and can't wait to grow our businesses together while also growing in motherhood together. So I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much and have a good day.